All right. Good evening, everybody. Hey, family. Welcome to the Beacon of Truth. I am your host, Aaron Bull. As you can see, I got my right hand girl with me today. And obviously, you see, I got my handy dandy slides up. So we're going to talk about quite a few things. So in today's Saturday sit down, we're going to discuss the current events, drop some knowledge, and share a few laughs.
I'm bringing the laugh. She bringing the black 365.
Yes, yes. So as y'all know,
I'm just
Miss
here for
Le-
the comments.
don't do that. Don't do that. But Miss Levy is rainbows and unicorns. I'm a little blackety black.
A little.
As you can see, I got my NAACP shirt on. So that's what we on. But all right, let's not play around with it. Let's get into it. Here we go. All right. So before we get all the way into it, I do want to take some time to pay homage to two civil rights legends who have made their final transitions, both of whom passed here in Atlanta. And that is the Reverend C.T. Vivian, as well as Congressman John Lewis, who passed away last night. So let's talk about them for a little bit. Let me tell you exactly who they are. Some of you may not know. So, C.T. Vivian was a close friend and field general of Martin Luther King Jr. during the Civil Rights Movement. He was also a member of the Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity and a founder of the C.T. Vivian Leadership Institute. He was born in Boonville, Missouri in 1924, and he moved to Macomb, Illinois, and participated in his first nonviolent lunch counter sit-in protest in 1947. In 1955, Vivian enrolled in American Baptist Theological Seminary in Nashville, believing that there was a direct tie to civil rights, faith, and ministry. He helped create the Nashville Christian Leadership Conference, which was an affiliate of the SCLC, and he also participated in the Freedom Rides and worked alongside Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. He founded the C.T. Vivian Leadership Institute, which is dedicated to creating a model of leadership culture for the purpose of training and educating the new generation of grassroots leaders. He was awarded the Medal of Freedom in 2013 by President Barack Obama. Do y'all remember when we had a president? But all right. Now, let's talk about John Lewis. It's really like there aren't enough words to really talk about this man and the impact that he had, not just here in Georgia, but on the nation. We all know him as a historical civil rights hero. He represented Georgia's 5th congressional district since 1987 and served 17 terms in the House. He did pass away yesterday after losing his battle with pancreatic cancer. He was the son of sharecroppers and survived a brutal beating by the police in 1965 on the Edmund Pettus Bridge in Selma, Alabama.
Mm.
I was like, what was that? But
Oh, that was Goldie.
hey, Goldie.
Hmm.
But of course, no one lives forever. But some people should get a pass. But I
Yeah.
mean, he did live to the ripe old age of 80. So,
Yeah, which I would have thought he was older than that, but he was only 80. I
mhm.
guess, as as we get older, 80 really isn't that old. I mean, it's old, but people are living a lot longer these
Yeah,
days. But in his case, he had pancreatic cancer, and the statistics of one surviving it is very slim.
yeah.
So, and he was diagnosed not that long ago.
6 months.
Yeah. So rest in power, King.
Yes. And I was surprised to find that he was actually getting hospice care.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Right. They kept that a secret until he passed. But let's see what else.
That makes me want to. There's a documentary on, I forgot which platform. I want to say Prime. There's a documentary about him where Erica Alexander plays in it. You know, Maxine from Living Single.
Mm-hmm.
She plays in it because they were on the Breakfast Club doing an interview and they were talking about it. So I'm gonna have to check it out. I haven't had the opportunity to do it, but I might have to check it out tonight.
Okay. And I know he had I think it was a book called Good Trouble. And there is a documentary about him. I don't know if we're talking about the same one or not. I just saw it on my Netflix timeline, but I haven't had a chance to check it out. But let's see. So he stood firm in his belief of nonviolence, but that did not make him soft or timid. He was arrested more than 40 times while protesting against racial and social injustice. He participated in lunch counter sit-ins, joined by the Freedom Riders, and was a keynote speaker at the 1963 March on Washington. He was elected to the Atlanta City Council in 1981 and made it to Congress in 1987. In 2011, after 50 years of activism, he received the Medal of Freedom from America's first Black president.
Mm-hmm.
And he taught his students, when you see something that is not right, not fair, not just, you have a moral obligation to do something, to say something. And Dr. King inspired us to do just that. So rest in power to these two great kings.
Absolutely. And prayers to their family.
Indeed, indeed. Prayers to their family. All right, so shifting gears a little bit. Let's take a look. Oh, go ahead.
Talk about Mark Rubio.
So, and actually, there are a couple of things I want to talk about before I go back. So let me slide the screen back. So, Mark Rubio sent his condolences to Congressman John Lewis using Elijah Cummings' photo. Once again, perpetuating the stereotype that
we all look alike.
There we go. But at least both of them are deceased. So at least he got that one right. At least he's not killing somebody that's still living.
But one was considerably taller. And the other one was a little bitty one. Come on now.
Right. They were just bald head and black.
Bald head and black.
And in Congress, that's it.
What is Mark Rubio? Is he Mexican?
Girl, don't get me the line. Don't give me the line.
I mean, because it said that Hispanics look alike. So I'm just saying, no, he's Cuban. Yeah, he's Cuban. Okay, Cuban American. So I love the Hispanic community. I have a lot of friends. Look, I have friends who are Hispanic.
Oh, we don't be that. Don't be that.
I know,
one.
definitely that girl. But I'm saying, it's just, come on now. That's just, as one ethnic person shouting out another, you would think he would take that into consideration. Be a little bit more considerate.
Not to mention, he's in Congress, or he's in politics anyway.
Well, that too. That too.
So I could have given you a pass if it was an athlete or just somebody, just a celebrity that was not politically related or affiliated.
No, sorry, there is no pass on that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
do your homework.
Yeah, for real. That's why we can't. That's why we can't get bills passed, because y'all don't even know who up there. But okay, we gonna move on. we gonna keep it moving. All right, so let's take a look at reparations. So the city of Asheville, North Carolina, approved reparations on July 14th. But before we get into that, let me tell you what the definition of reparations is. Go ahead, Goldie. But the definition of reparations is the making of amends for a wrong one has done by paying money to or otherwise helping those who have been wronged. So now let's take a look at the problems that the resolution addresses and the remedies offered. I know it's a lot on this slide. Y'all ain't supposed to put this many words up here, but this is actually a summary of the verbiage from the actual resolution that was passed in Asheville. So the resolution addresses the fact that Black people have been unjustly enslaved, segregated, incarcerated, denied housing, displaced, and inadequately housed by government housing policies, impoverished by discriminatory wages paid in every sector of the local economy. Hold on one second, y'all.
Hey, Miss Cruiser.
Oh,
Welcome.
hey.
So, okay, she'd have made it big. Yes.
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, let me fix this. There's a lot of words on here. So okay. I just started over. I wasn't that far into it. Resolution addresses the fact that Black people have been unjustly enslaved, segregated, incarcerated, denied housing, displaced and inadequately housed by government housing policies, impoverished by discriminatory wages paid in every sector of the local economy, experienced disproportionate unemployment rates and reduced opportunities, systematically excluded from private economic development and community investments, segregated from mainstream education, historically and presently receive inadequate and sometimes detrimental health care, unjustly targeted by law enforcement and criminal justice procedures, incarcerated at disproportionate rates, been forced to reside in or near toxic sites, disproportionately been limited to the confined routes of travel provided by public transportation, suffered from food and child care deserts. Systemic racism was created over centuries, and state and federal governments have a responsibility to adopt programs, policies, and funding to address reparations. So, those are the problems that they're seeking to address. Now, let's take a look at some of the proposed remedies. So, the city council of the city of Asheville apologizes and makes amends for its participation in the sanctioning of the enslavement of Black people, the enforcement of segregation and its accompanying discriminatory practices, the urban renewal program, aka gentrification, because we talked about that before, but let me stay focused, that destroyed multiple successful Black communities. It calls on other organizations and institutions in Asheville that have advanced and benefited from racial inequity to join the city in its apologies and invites them to address racism within their own structures and programs. Calls on the state of North Carolina and the federal government to initiate policymaking and provide funding for reparations at the state and national levels. Directs the city manager to establish a process within the next year to develop short, medium, and long-term recommendations to specifically address the creation of generational wealth and to boost economic mobility and opportunity in the Black community. Excuse me. And lastly, it seeks to establish within the next year a new commission empowered to make short, medium, and long-term recommendations that will make significant progress towards repairing the damage caused by public and private systemic racism. Bring us back. All right. I was about to say, I was like, I give you the eye, but so I think this resolution does
that was a lot. That was a lot. Yeah.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
I think this resolution does a terrific job of breaking down the historical sufferings of the Black community, but there are some things missing. Where are the guarantees that this will indeed improve the plight of Black people? How will this really close the historical pay gaps, the healthcare, close the historical gaps in pay, healthcare, job opportunities, etc.? And I think it should be called community investment rather than actual reparations, because at this point, when you start bringing the national conversation about reparations, at least here in the city of Asheville, they're going to say, we already took care of y'all. We done.
Yep. Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
Hey, Miss Cruiser. I'm checking up on comments now.
Hey, Stacy. So yeah,
Comments, questions, concerns about reparations. What you think about it, Miss Levy?
yeah, I, I have no comment. I don't. I wish I did, but I don't.
I get it. So again, my concern, I mean, I am definitely happy to see actual legislation put in place for reparations anywhere. But again, I'm concerned, at least for these residents, are they going to be left out if there is a national conversation about reparations, which I've talked about several times. I am definitely in favor of reparations. And I mean, this is a little, the problems that they seek to address are very detailed, and I love the language of it. It's very clear, and I think it at least lays a foundation for other municipalities, including the federal government, to get a better understanding of what needs to be addressed, what needs to be done. But on the remedy side of it, as far as what they're going to do, I think it's too small. I mean, it's great. I mean, obviously, it's for a city, so it can't be but so big. But so we just got to stay tuned and see how it really unfolds, because it just seems like a um, smaller scale version of Bill HR 40, which was the initial bill that was proposed for the commission to study reparations, which there have been a million of those. So there's that.
All right.
All right, so let's talk about Nick Cannon, who was dropped by Viacom CBS for anti-Semitic comments made during a podcast episode in June, where he sat down with Professor Griff, who was formerly of Public Enemy, who was also kicked out of Public Enemy for anti-Semitic and homophobic comments that he made back then. So the episode was initially on YouTube, but it has been removed after all of the controversy. So I haven't had a chance to see the whole interview. Just a few minutes ago, I actually did find the whole video, so I'm gonna go back and watch it later. But from the highlights that I saw, there was a portion where the two were spouting anti-Semitic remarks and conspiracy theories that led to his dismissal. The thing that I thought was kind of odd is that they did not say that he was being racist or making racist remarks. And to me, I'm going to proceed carefully, a lot more carefully than what Nick Cannon did, because he actually made the statement, oh, I'm going to proceed, I'm going to use my words carefully. And he was not careful with those words. But I definitely was expecting to hear about him being, or I guess alleging that he was racist or making racist remarks versus anti-Semitic. But I don't know a whole lot about anti-Semitism. So that's my ignorance there. I'm not fully informed on that.
Oh.
Yeah. But initially Nick was defiant about it, and he stood by his word until he was counseled by members of the Jewish community, including a rabbi friend of his, who informed him of how hurtful and just disrespectful his comments were. So he made several apologies to the Jewish community, and then he turned around and faced backlash from the Black community for making those apologies. So and while his show Wild 'N Out has been canceled and removed from MTV, he was able to retain his job as a host of The Masked Singer on Fox.
Well, yeah, that's because he's invested. He's an EP.
That's why you're here. Because, let me tell you something. Nick Cannon has been canceled for me ever since he did that episode with Rizza Islam, where he said that white women are a success for Black men, and now that he had money, he could afford them all. So he been
it's
canceled.
true, but I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. But okay, so here's my thing. A podcast is supposed to be able to A podcast is supposed to be a platform for you to be able to speak how you want to speak, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's supposed to be your safe haven. I get that what he said may not have been agreed upon within a particular community. But for cancel culture to come in and allow him to just remove him, like delete him as though he was never there, I don't agree with that. Because I don't think, I know Nick is not racist by no means.
Right.
Do I feel that was speaking out of he was speaking in an arena that he has no idea about? Absolutely. That's just like a white person coming in trying to tell us how to be black.
Right.
You have no inkling of what it's like to walk in my shoes and vice versa. So I think it would have been different. Like I've seen other people comment saying that, if he would have had this conversation with someone of the Jewish community and not I can't talk today, Professor Griff,
Yes.
then it would have been different. It would have been received differently. But I don't feel as though, and I'm not saying this because I'm upset that Wildin' Out is off the air, because I am pissed. Okay, so let's talk about that for a minute, okay? I live for my Wildin' Out every Tuesday. Every Tuesday night, I look forward to going to my DVR and seeing it there in my box, because it's been taped here in Atlanta, and it's been, as you say, fine, okay? But when I went and looked at my DVR and I saw the recording, but then when I turned it on and I saw the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, what is this? I don't want to see the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I saw the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air 25 years ago. I'm not looking to revisit that right now. I want current and present day Wildin' Out. So, okay, I digress. I'm sorry.
No, you good. But I mean, in that, I can agree that I was not in favor of him being canceled. He should have been counseled, and I do think that he was just ill-informed, and you have to be aware of the company that you keep, especially when you have something to lose. Now, if he would have just had a standalone podcast and that was the only thing that he really had going on, or whatever else he actually had full control of, then okay, so be it, because they can't take nothing away from you that they don't own.
True.
And I just mean anybody else. If it's not your platform, there are rules and regulations. Just like when you have a job, you can't go to that job and say and do whatever you want to do because it's not your business. But when you own your own business, you own your own platform, then you can speak freely. Now, true, it was a podcast, it was his, but also I don't think that it was about furthering a conversation. And in this day and time, that's what we need to be doing. I'm not going to tell him how to do it, freedom of speech, whatever, but you have, along with that, freedom is not free.
Facts.
Freedom is not free. So you have to be mindful of that. Like, I can say whatever I want to say on my platforms because I don't have nothing to lose. The worst thing they could do to me is take it off, hide the video. I don't have no job. I don't have, but I know that. So I could push the boundaries a little bit. But when you are of that stature and that status, and you are still putting yourself in a position to make money according to how they let you have to be mindful of that. Not to mention that right now, tensions are high. Everybody's on high alert, high sensitivity, about racism, bigotry, equality, and all of those kind of things. So you have to be mindful of that. Now, there is room for education. And what I would have liked to see him do was, after his apology, go back to that podcast with a member of the Jewish community and set the record straight. Now, the other side of it is that he's dabbling in a long since understood, or not even understood, a historical stereotype. Two of them, actually. So one, that Jews run all of the media and things like that. And then also you get into this back and forth about who is the original person or who are the original people
Mm-hmm.
and this and the third. If you don't have historical facts, not your homeboy sitting here with you who are already dibble and dabble, because we know, this is stuff. I'm from here. Professor Griff is from here, or actually lives here. I've actually had conversation with Professor Griff because I wanted to link up and do a joint episode with him, which he was not open to because I was a woman and because I was ill informed, which I came to him seeking understanding. But after watching him and doing some research, yeah, I'm glad that didn't happen. I'm glad that didn't happen. But here it is. We're in the middle of a fight for justice and equality. You can't say, respect me, respect us, my people, and you're not respecting a different group of people.
Mm-hmm.
Even when it comes to dealing with racism or racists, you can't say, hey, cracker, don't call me the N-word.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? That doesn't set up for understanding and openness.
And healing.
Right. So I do not think that Nick Cannon is or was racist. I think that he was ill-informed and he didn't go to the right source.
Yeah, he allowed Griff to bring him down, basically. Because it's just like, and I don't necessarily want to use this as an example, but this is the first thing that pops in my mind with Billy Bush and 45. 45 still going on doing what the hell he want to do. But it was Billy who paid the price, for the situation as a whole. Even though both parties played a part, but it's kind of like the same. With Griff, I've never gotten into the whole ideology of what progressive, I can't say his name, Griff. I'm just calling him Griff, okay? I've never, since the 80s, I've never gotten into that whole philosophy. Look, you do you. If that's what you believe in, cool, I respect it, but I can't get into that ideology, okay? I just cannot. And Nick definitely should have proceeded with caution. If you're gonna bring him on, you should have been more thoughtful about what you wanted to say. But you allowed him to take you down that pigeonhole, and look where we are today. Because Griff is gonna continue on spewing his ideologies to anyone that's gonna listen.
Right, and he has that platform. Because that's the crowd that he already runs with, so he's not losing anything. And in fact, due to being tied to Nick Cannon, he's coming back into relevancy, or not even saying that he was irrelevant, but he's coming back more into mainstream.
He was irrelevant.
Okay. But
let's just be clear, because nobody knew who he was unless he was tied to PE. Period. Because prior to the separation between him and Flavor Flav with the group, who was really talking about him in mainstream media? Shall I say that?
Okay, that's what I was going to say. Because like I said, I know of Professor Griff because when I initially started my YouTube channel, going down the black road, so when I first got on YouTube, I was dealing with, I was following, I don't even want to admit it, but I'm going to be honest. Transparency, all right. I was following, oh my goodness, Dr. Boyce. Watkins. There we go. I was following him, Michi X, and who else? Yvette Carnell, Antonio Moore, a lot of these people. So, yeah. And I came across Professor Griff when I was trying to go down this road. But then I realized that they all kind of dabble in these conspiracy theories, and they come in the name of peace, equality, and forward moving, but they're really attacking other people, including other black people. So it's a hot mess. I was like, okay, let me back up. Let me back up. But I say all that to say that I was familiar with Professor Griff. He did have some really good podcasts that he was doing from the West End, where he was trying to shift the narrative a little bit. But I did know that he was that militant conspiracy theory type of person. I was aware of that much.
And you still follow them?
Girl, no.
Oh,
No,
because that's
I
just like,
became aware of that.
because that's just like you being completely aware of all the shit. I'm sorry, all the things that R. Kelly has done, but you still rocking with his music, belting out the lyrics like it's nothing. Like, how could that? How could that let? How can your conscience sit well with you listening to those lyrics, but you know what's behind those lyrics? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And then okay, so with this episode though, that's what I was gonna say. What he could have done is said, I'm joined today by Professor Griff, blah blah blah. His opinions are his own opinions. We are just here to facilitate a conversation. And if he felt like what Professor Griff was saying, he could have just questioned him from a standpoint of, okay, so what is your proof? How do we know that this is true? Where can we verify this information? Besides just saying, go and Google it. Anybody can Google this, anybody can Google that, whatever. Why are you so confident that this is the truth? And you don't have to take a stance on you're right, you're wrong. Just explain your side. It's no different than if you sit down with a racist and you get them to explain their ideology. Why do you believe that black and brown people are this or that? Where is this coming from? That's how you open conversation. That's how you get growth and probably open their own eyes to the fact that it's not founded in anything.
So to kind of go to the comments, Miss Cruiser, she said, Nick said African American people are Semitic people by definition, and that Semitic people are not white.
Right. And that's the thing. Nick actually said this co-signing what Professor Griff had said. So, that's where he pulled himself into it, because you are actually saying this now.
Yeah. So, yeah. And then also Miss Cruiser, she says there are repercussions and consequences to freedom of speech.
Right.
Because like you said, free is not always free.
Exactly.
All right. What you got next, girl?
All right, so I did want to take a further look into anti-Semitism, because like I said, I wasn't clear, and I'm still not 100% clear on what anti-Semitism is, other than the fact that it pertains to the Jewish community. And all I really knew, like prior to doing this, was that, calling them the K word is like the equivalent of calling us the N word. And of course, we all know about the Holocaust, but that was about it. And even when I was trying to prepare for this live, I really didn't find a whole lot of information to explain what anti-Semitism is, because I was trying to educate myself. Especially, like I said, we're at a time where we're trying to find allies, but we also need to be able to be allies. So, I just did as much research as I could over the last day, just trying to get an understanding on what is anti-Semitism, besides not really what it is, but how do you recognize it? Because it seems like when it comes to anti-Semitism, from what I found, it's kind of like the white people that say that they're not racist, but they say you people, or I love you people and things like that. So it's that hidden thing in us. So I wanted to, because I don't know if I have ever been anti-Semitic, because I don't know any Jews. I don't have any reason to say anything for or against, but there's also certain things like I won't say we. Some of us have been raised to believe that Jews run the economy, or that they run the world, the Rothschilds and things like that. So I was just trying to find more understanding of like where that came from, why is it that way, what is the truth, whatever. But I didn't find a whole lot. And again, this is so in this day of awakening to centuries-long injustices here in the United States, I just feel like it's important that we're informed on all fronts. Because again, equality and justice for all means all. That's the bottom line. So this is not a fight or just a fight about ending hatred and bigotry towards Black people. It's about ending it for everyone. And as Martin Luther King said, hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. So that was my mission in trying to just find out more information, because I don't want anyone that I reach or that I know of to possess this trait of being anti-Semitic, because it does appear to be just as bad as being racist. Because from what I understand and what, there is like Jews are actually a people, just like, white people, Black people, but it's also a religion. So
Right.
it's levels to it. Let's see what we got.
So Brave
Oh,
Man
welcome, Nick.
TV,
Mm-hmm.
he raised a good question. Do Jews consider themselves white?
So from the little bit of research that I have found, Jews may consider themselves white, but what it seems like is white people don't consider Jews white, even if they're white. Like their skin is white, if they're considered Caucasian. Yeah, so that's where we get into this spider web of what is anti-Semitic versus what is. That's why anti-Semitism and racism appear simultaneously a lot.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I did find is this clip. So
you got clips? Okay.
Yes, we're trying to get fancy.
Okay.
It shows up in different places, in different ways.
Okay.
Can you hear it?
I can vaguely hear it.
When Jewish cemeteries or places of...
Hold on, can you hear it?
No.
Oh no.
I mean, did you pause it?
I just paused it.
Okay, because I see the pausism.
All right, let me see. Is there volume?
But the sound was very faint.
Prayer are vandalized, or when anti-Jewish slogans are chanted during soccer games. Hatred and prejudice against Jews can also be found online. For example, myths like Jews are secretly in power in many countries, Jews control the media, or Jews control the global financial markets. Myths and ghost stories that are from the Middle Ages and still exist today. Sometimes it is unclear whether something is anti-Semitism or not. Lethal attacks on Jewish
the volume is a little low, Aaron.
Discussions about the Middle East or Israel.
Okay, so let me see if I can figure out how to make this louder.
So is there a specific website that people can go to kind of educate themselves on this or look at this particular clip?
Yeah, once this video is concluded, because I have those links, but I just didn't put it in the description, but I will at the end of it. I'm just trying to see if I can change.
Well, yeah, I would definitely say just leave the link in the description so that, people can take the time to educate themselves, because this is definitely something that we all need to inform ourselves about.
Yeah, but I really need to see if I can turn the volume up, because it is an important one. And I got another clip in here that I wanted to show.
Gotcha. I don't know any Jewish people. I think I went to elementary school with quite a few of them. I do know that my ex works for a Jewish company, and they are a little. They're an interesting group. I will say that they're very eclectic, and they're very frugal. I wish we all should take a page from their book, because they be sitting on money.
Okay. And like I said, I don't have any. Uh, I'm afraid to change this.
Yeah, because the only Jewish person that I can recall ever encountering was through my grief share group, because the grief share group that I was a part of was a Christian based community. And she was, I kind of had to, well, because I didn't know, I had to kind of ask questions, because, of course, in a Christian based community, you're going to refer to Jesus Christ. And at that time, I didn't know that they don't believe in Jesus Christ ever existing. So I was like, oh, so I sat there and I kind of picked her brain a little bit. And I was like, well, okay. So what do you? So it's just God and the Holy Spirit. That's it. Nothing, nothing in between. And they were just like, no, we don't believe that he exists. So I was like, okay. So Ms. Cruiser says there was an article in the Jerusalem Post concerning how Jews answered in the census. And if they were white, most answered yes. All right. Good information.
Yeah, because I was wondering, because I mean, I'm not Jewish, so I haven't even looked to see.
You don't say, girl, you ain't Jewish.
Not at all. But what I wanted to know is if they don't consider themselves white, then what? I guess they could check other.
Is that even on the census?
I don't know. Oh, on the census. Oh, I don't know.
Did you fill out your census?
My mama did.
Oh, okay. For those of you
Okay.
watching, have you filled out the census? Do so, because it is important. Because I just happened to have done an ancestry search. I cannot talk this evening. What is going on? I did an ancestry search for my family, and I found census records going back to the 1930s and 40s that included my grandmother and my great grandfather's information. So to actually see that on paper, I felt just that much closer to them. Like, wow, this is history. So fill it out. Encourage others to fill it out, because it takes no time to do it online. So, and that is my PSA for the day.
Okay. Oh, okay. I think I got it. I didn't have it. Okay, let's try this again.
All right, let's try it again. All right. Wow, there was a whole entire boycott. Boycott who? Oh, boycott Israel apartheid. Is that what it says?
Yeah, because that was okay. So let me see if I can roll this back to the beginning.
5. But anti-Semitism.
Okay, now it sounds really low.
No, it sounds a little bit louder. A little bit louder.
Oh, okay, good.
So Ms. Cruiser said some answered yes, with adding on Eastern European.
Yeah, you got that.
Ashkenazi Jew. Ashkenazi.
5.
Okay.
All right, let me try this.
But anti-Semitism still exists. It shows up in different places, in different ways. Sometimes very openly, when people on the street are verbally or physically abused for looking Jewish, when Jewish cemeteries or places of prayer are vandalized, or when anti-Jewish slogans are chanted during soccer games. Hatred and prejudice against Jews can also be found online. For example, myths like Jews are secretly in power in many countries, Jews control the media, or Jews control the global financial markets. Myths and ghost stories that are from
What you doing over there, bull?
still exist today.
Girl. Okay.
I got it.
Sometimes it is unclear whether something is anti-Semitism or not. Lethal attacks on Jewish people are a clear case, but discussions about the Middle East or Israel are harder to judge. Some people make remarks that are obviously hateful against all Jews, but criticism on Israel is not always anti-Semitic. Prejudices, negative remarks, and extreme opinions can be offensive to Jews. They contribute to a negative image of all Jews and to the age-old ghost stories and myths. In short, anti-Semitism has existed for a long time, and unfortunately, it still does.
Okay. So I was trying to mute myself and make it bigger, but it interrupted the video. So now, all right, let me do that now.
And we're back.
But I mean, so basically, like I said, I was just trying to educate. Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay. I was just trying to educate myself and just get a better understanding of what anti-Semitism is and how to recognize it. And whatever changes we seek will only be accomplished by standing together against the forces of oppression. So, what I did discover is that the Jewish community has had a similar history of mistreatment, discrimination, and oppression, and they have always stood with the Black community from the civil rights movements even through today. They actually were contributing factors to where signs came from and making sure that the water, they actually did contribute to the actual movement by not only by showing up in numbers, but also helping with financing.
Okay.
65.
Okay,
But
here we go. I'm messing up. All right, there we go. Let's move on.
Bless it.
Bless. Hold on, because we need some facial expression. So y'all bear with me. There we go. Bring us back.
All right, Keisha Lance Bottoms and Bubba Kemp.
Ciao. All right. So, me and Lovey from Georgia, so we've been hashing this out. So I'm going to talk to y'all that are not from here.
We live in Georgia. I live in Georgia.
Oh, excuse me. Yes, she's a Cali girl. I apologize.
She
been here. How long you been here? 13, 15 years?
18.
Yeah. Oh, girl, you almost been here a generation. Ain't nobody fooling with you. So we Georgians. And so Georgia Governor Brian Kemp is suing Atlanta Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms over the mask mandate. I'm proceeding with caution, y'all, because I'm upset. I'm about to click on this. I hope it don't mess it up, y'all. Okay, there we go. So he filed suit against the mayor and members of the Atlanta City Council. And Kemp is opposed to issuing a statewide mask mandate and is only strongly encouraging Georgians to wear one. And here's a fun fact about Georgia. Okay, can y'all see this? Because it's not showing up. Okay. Georgia is number 5 in the country in new cases.
Yeah, because people out and about. It's hot. They tired of being cooped up in the house, so they just living their best life, mask free.
Right. And let's also keep this in mind. What I'm about to say. He stole the election from Stacey Abrams.
Well, we got to revisit this every time.
Yes. I'm going to say this.
You said you were going to say it every chance you get. Okay, go ahead. It's your platform. Right. Do you, boo? Go ahead.
Okay, so I got that out. And this is the same idiot that did not know about asymptomatic transmission until about 3 months into the pandemic with the CDC headquarters in his backyard in the very city that he's suing, Atlanta, Georgia. Mayor Bottoms and her family have all contracted COVID-19. The lawsuit will be at taxpayers' expense. Meanwhile, we still do not have sufficient testing in this state. The mayor herself, who is tested frequently, still had to wait 8 days before she got confirmation, which she received in the middle of a press conference with 50 people. So guess what?
They were potentially affected.
All righty. And the governor's mansion is still not open for tours due to coronavirus pandemic.
Okay, so Keisha, she did. I know I should call her Mayor Bottoms or Madam Mayor. Madam Mayor, we'll respect her. Madam Mayor. Not saying I don't, but she Keisha. You gotta Keisha. You gotta call her Keisha. Exactly. Hey, Keisha. Okay, so Keisha, she was on the Today Show, and she was giving her side of the story. So she was saying that the research that he'd done was up in Augusta, and she was like, not saying that there aren't legitimate how do you say that?
Epidemiologists.
Yeah, those up there, but you have the CDC here, so why wouldn't you use them as a viable resource? And so then he came out. His press conference on Friday morning was probably like an hour after her appearance on the Today Show. So one of the reporters had, say, hey, the mayor of Atlanta said that you didn't do adequate research as far as the virus itself. And so he was just like, well, I've talked to credible people who know about this, and I didn't have to go to the CDC. There's credible researchers all around the state. So I was like, okay, Brian, you get on my nerve.
Well, that's Trump's boy. Ooh, I said
of course.
the name. Ooh. And you would think that Kemp would proceed with caution when he already was trying to follow and be a good old boy for the president and opened too soon, got chastised by the president, and you still not going to consort with the CDC. I get. See, this is what happens when you have a failure in federal leadership. Because guess who else is circumventing the CDC? 45. Okay, but all right, let me stay focused, y'all.
But he stayed coming here to Atlanta, though.
Child, don't. I don't. Okay, so here's another fun fact, y'all. I got two of them. Number one, Mayor Bottoms is a practicing lawyer, so we ready. Come for her, please.
Right, and she been saying that. She was like, "Look, bring it."
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And here's a sad fun fact, y'all. Governor Kemp is a graduate of the University of Georgia, home to my beloved Bulldogs. All real dogs always want to beat Bama. And guess what? The Alabama governor has a mask mandate set for her state. So even with no football season, Georgia is losing to Bama. Yeah. Again.
You have to find some type of football reference in there.
Because I think about it every time I see him. Like, okay, I'm going to need y'all to work on producing politicians as well as y'all produce football players. Okay? Please.
That part.
Please. Athens. Like, y'all, home of the Bulldogs, home of Zaxby's. Zaxby's is founded right there by UGA. Really? That is the origin. Mind you, I worked for Zaxby's. I went through management. I was the training manager, all that. So I've been to Zaxby's University in Athens. Girl, they got them out there like McDonald's or liquor stores. This is Zaxby's on every corner, and they got a different menu. But we foodies. Okay, let me.
Hang okay, because now I want a nibbler.
Girl, bye. You are a nibbler. So I want y'all to listen to this statement that he made. First of all, reminder, he is suing over a mask mandate. And despite people claiming that it's infringing upon their rights and blah, 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 you can still go wherever you want to. Just wear a freaking mask. That's it.
Yeah. That's it. But people, I'm finding that we as a people, we don't like to be told what to do. Even though our health is at risk, but people still don't like to be told what to do. So I did a little bit of research of my own the other day because I was just like, okay, what has gone into effect that was hard for people to understand the concept, where eventually we had to come around like, oh, okay, I guess I better go ahead and jump on board. Seatbelts. It was hard for people to come to the conclusion that seatbelts save lives. And it took a long time for people to get on board and to start using them. Now, I feel funny getting in the car and not wearing a seatbelt, whether I'm driving or not. Right. So then there is more recently the no texting and driving.
Right.
Even though people still do it, but for the most part, people are getting, hey, I need to be focused on the road. But it's hard for people to transition from one thing to another. And as simple as a mask should be, people don't like being told what to do, which is really sad. So it's just like, okay, so you clearly don't give a damn about my life, which is fine. But I need for you to stay way over there,
Yes.
not giving a damn. Okay.
Yes. Now listen to this statement. Listen to this statement. This is his statement in response to the governor suing the mayor over a mask mandate. Y'all make it make sense. I'm gonna read it to you because the words are here, but it don't make sense to me. So, in a statement, a spokesperson for the governor's office said the lawsuit was on behalf of Atlanta business owners, okay, and their hardworking employees who are struggling to survive during these difficult times. These men and women are doing their very best to put food on the table for their families while local elected officials shutter businesses and undermine economic growth. Just like sending in the Georgia National Guard to protect those living in our capital city from crime and violence, I refuse to sit back and watch as disastrous policies threaten the lives and livelihoods of our citizens. We will fight to stop these reckless actions and put people over pandemic politics. So first of all, sir, with putting a mask is not closing down a business, or enforcing a mask mandate is not closing a business, not saying that they can't open. You just gotta wear a mask. You just gotta wear a mask. Like, it's not, it's y'all help me. It's not making sense to me, and I'm about to move.
Where you going?
I don't know. I'm gonna go over there to California with Governor Newsom because he the only one that got some sense around here. So, or just transport him or something. Stacey Abrams, come get your seat. Why you gonna steal a seat that you don't even want to do the job for? But okay.
But here's my thing. It's your people that are not taking your suggestion. Okay. Us people, we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. We're social distancing, we're staying home. And if we do have to go out, we're wearing our mask. But it's your constituents, your people who are feeling defiant, are the defiant ones, and not, actively taking on your suggestion. Hence the reason why our cases are continuously going up on a daily. Hence the reason why we are constantly losing people. But yet you want the economy to boom, but you're not doing anything to get people regulated as far as these cases in order to get the economy up and going. So in essence, you're keeping us back with your stupidity.
Exactly. And here's the other thing. You sitting up here as an adult male arguing with an adult woman about what adults should do with their masks. But what you gonna do about these kids? Because if you don't want adults to wear masks, you ain't protecting the kids. Okay, I'm not gonna start on the kids. Y'all know. All right.
I meant to post that. I meant to share it because one of my friends had posted something. It said what kids will look like wearing masks in school. One of them put it as an eye cover. The other one was turned around on their hand.
Oh, I did see that.
Yeah, and then when it got to college, no, it was like different stages of school, of education for kids going through the pandemic, being in the classroom wearing a mask. And then it said for college students, they would use a mask as a cozy for their beer.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I just don't understand this. Like, why can't we be on a united front? Why does there have to be so much dissension? I'm not understanding.
We have no federal leadership. We have no federal leadership at all.
That too.
And he's following in daddy's footsteps because I swear he want to be his other son. He want to be 45 Junior the second.
Not Junior the second.
Yes. Like, bruh, you okay, please follow his lead. Follow his lead and get your ass out of here. Oops, excuse me. All right, I'm gonna move on because I done got foul. My mama gonna fly in here and get me. We're gonna move on.
Okay, Miss Cruiser, to answer your question, I'm originally from Oakland, California.
Yeah. She got hurt.
Yeah, I got hoard. I'm from the hood.
She stay around the corner from the hood. She ain't from the hood. Okay, all right. So let's get into some viewer requested topics. So one of the viewers asked me, could I provide more information about the NFAC? And it was my privilege and pleasure to do this research for this. So on the 4th of July, over 1,000 armed militia, all of whom were black, marched through Stone Mountain Park here in Georgia. It was a challenge to white nationalist groups in the area, aka the KKK. If you don't know, Stone Mountain Park is the birthplace of the Ku Klux Klan. And as Georgia is an open carry state, as long as you are licensed, these men and women were well within the rights of the Second Amendment. Some were concerned about the large group of armed black people. However, nobody was shot, there was no incidents, and in fact, they were actually escorted by the police.
Okay.
Indeed. And so the founder is Grandmaster J. And he says that they are not affiliated with Black Lives Matter movement, and they are not protesters or demonstrators. They are a black militia. On July 3rd, because the question was asked, like, well, why were you in a rally? They really weren't. What happened is on July 3rd, the NFAC provided armed security for Rayshard Brooks' sister as she headed to a rally. And again, they are all black. There are no brown people. There are no white people. And Grandmaster J is the commanding general of this militia. And there is also a sister militia in Phoenix, Arizona.
I have never heard of these people until they hit the news on a national level on that day.
Well,
had you heard of them before?
You're going to learn today. But yeah, I had heard of them prior to. I mean, just recently heard of them, but that wasn't my first time hearing about them.
Of course not, because you're Black 365.
Yes. Also, so move right along and sticking with the Second Amendment. If you are interested in exercising your Second Amendment but not sure where to start right here at NAAG, the National African American Gun Association. These are the pricing. I am a member of this, but I joined like 1 week before the coronavirus shut us down. So I have not actually been to a meeting or anything like that, but they have a ton of online resources and modules that teach you different ways of gun safety, as well as like shooting on the move, everything you need to know to be comfortable exercising your Second Amendment. And if you have any melanin in your skin, I suggest you exercise your Second Amendment. It's my personal opinion.
Facts.
All right, so this was Lovey's question. I said it was a viewer, but she's a viewer and she's my friend. She want to know, are we getting a second stimulus check or nah? So maybe not. They're considering a new stimulus bill. Congress is scheduled for their next break on August 10th. The goal is to have a package approved by August 7th. And 45, because I'm not typing it on none of my screens. You ain't finna get no virus on my computer spelling that out. But 45 is open to negotiating a second round of payments. But again, we're dealing with Moscow Mitch McConnell. But he says he expects the Senate to begin debating its own version of the stimulus package soon. They may have something ready to go before Senate breaks or goes on break on August 10th. If not, they won't return until September 8th. Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin is urging Congress to pass a second stimulus check bill by the end of the month. So we're going to see how that goes out.
So that is based on unemployment rates, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Supposedly.
Allegedly.
Right.
Okay. All right.
Here's some other facts you might want to know. So, um, who might, again, this is all hypothetical, might be eligible as single people who earn less than $75,000 dollars a year or less, married couples who earned 150,000 or less. Also, if they do pass it, the qualifying dependent age has been removed. It was previously age 16. If the bill is approved, students could get up to 10,000 dollars in student loan forgiveness, maybe. Mm-hmm.
Just 10,000.
Right. Like,
I mean, every little bit helps, but sheesh, can we just forgive the debt altogether?
girl, that's a 10% reduction. That's it.
Right. Because, yeah, I need for you to wipe. Go ahead and wipe that slate clean.
Okay. But again, that's for students. I don't know if that's for former students. Like if you have student loan debt, I think it's literally just for people that are in school right now. I don't know.
But,
girl, I don't know. I'm again, and don't get your hopes up because it has to pay both the House and the Senate. And of course, we know how Nancy Pelosi and Mitch McConnell do not get along. And obviously, we know which side wants to help and which side doesn't.
okay.
But
So don't bet on learning how to walk prior to getting the stimulus check.
girl, you can learn how to walk before we get that. But
Y'all not ready for that.
if if it is approved, each member of a household up to 4 people, like two, you know what I'm saying, parents, 2 children, would get $1,200 per person. So that's including the children, whereas previously the kids or the dependents were only eligible for $500.
Okay. So Miss Cruiser says it's for current students.
Okay, well, let me go enroll in one online class so I can get this $60,000 off of me. Child, they need to do something about this student loan debt. But okay, we're gonna move on. In other news, after so 155 years after the end of the Civil War, the Confederate flag has been banned at all military installations. Come on, Aaron. Military installations and the Pentagon. Now, when they gonna change the names of these bases?
Okay, I have a question.
Yeah, ma'am.
What's the difference between an institution and an installation?
They call them military installations. That's what. So it's gonna be the bases and everything that goes with it.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Uh-huh.
All right. So here we go. Here's your 2 minutes of stupid. Now let's see if we can get this to cooperate. Here's 1 minute.
God.
Yes.
Our entire economy and our very way of life.
Okay, that's really low.
Oh, don't tell me that.
Transform our nation and subjugate our community.
What did I do before? Because it's sharing my audio this time. It's sharing your screen and audio. Now, let me see if I mute my.
Communities through the blunt force instrument of federal regulation at a level that you haven't even seen yet. The Democrats in D.C. have been and want to, at a much higher level, abolish our beautiful and successful suburbs by placing far-left Washington bureaucrats in charge of local zoning decisions. Your home will go down in value and crime rates will rapidly rise. Joe Biden and his bosses from the radical left want to significantly multiply what they're doing now. And what will be the end result is you will totally destroy the beautiful suburbs.
Yeah, I was really talking. And I didn't unmute myself. I'm trying to get it together. So,
It was low for me, so I don't know if it was low for everyone else. So I'm not sure if everyone else caught it. So, in a nutshell, can you give
yes,
a summary of what he said?
yes. So, in a nutshell, he was not only spouting lies as usual, but he's doing the infamous racist mating song called Hide Your Kids, Hide Your Wife, The Darkies is Coming. That's what it was. That's
Yeah.
what that whole minute was about. So he is alleging that Joe Biden and the Democrats want to abolish the suburbs by doing the rezoning and redistricting. Basically, they are seeking to fix redlining and the discriminatory practices that have prevented people of color being in the suburbs. So this is 45 blowing the horn like they about to integrate us again, even though we are desegregated. But yes.
All right.
I'm scared to play this other one because if it's not loud. Okay, I'll play a little bit of it and then you tell me if you can hear it or not.
Yes, ma'am.
Consumer choice and home appliances so that you can buy washers and dryers, shower heads and faucets. So
Yeah, it's low.
take a shower, the water doesn't come out. You want to wash your hands, the water doesn't come out.
Okay, so in video number 2, I really don't know what to say about it. He is talking about water. Talking about when you have a shower head and the water doesn't come out, you wash your dishes and the water doesn't work, so you run it again, and you just use all this water. And he and his administration have put more water into dishwashers.
Okay. So stupid on stupid. Okay.
Right, but here's the thing: what about clean water? Or are we just not supposed to talk about that?
Of course not. It's America. We don't talk about issues. We sweep them under the rug.
Right. Oh, I didn't mean for it to play.
Back consumer choice and home
And in the middle of 2 pandemics, racism and COVID-19, this is what our fearless leader, our law and order president is doing.
Taking pictures with products, which is against the law.
Yeah, like I have never, y'all help me. Have y'all ever seen this type of advertisement for any company from the White House? Because I have not.
Nope, I have not.
This is, I mean, like you would think that this was photoshopped, or this is like a conspiracy theory or one of them fake things that they send around. This is a real life picture from his Instagram account.
Mm-hmm. You say that like you're shocked.
Child, I don't know what the word is.
I'm not shocked. Because stupid is as stupid as. They probably don't even know how to take the top off of that stuff. But look, I got a bottle or a jar, a bottle of Goya adobo in my pantry right now. And then I got to thinking, I was like, dang, do I have to throw this out? Because it be seasoning my beans so well.
Good, you already paid for it, so you good.
I know.
Just don't buy no more.
Well, no, I don't buy their stuff like that because one, it's too expensive, especially they black beans. Because I could buy the Kroger or the local brand or store brand, and it'd be equally the same. But yeah, Goya's a little bit too expensive anyway. So.
Girl, well, one thing about it, at least with him pushing Goya, we ain't got to worry about unseasoned food now. Hopefully.
Oh, please, they ain't gonna know how to use it.
Girl, because instructions is the instructions in English?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
But they still don't know how to use it. Anyway, I digress. Any questions, comments, concerns? Okay, Miss Cruzy used to live in Rancho Cordova. Okay, I have friends that live up that way. Oh, do you have Live, Laugh, and Love You right there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cute. We
Mhm.
gotta get you my new logo.
I had your new logo. It just didn't go with my color scheme. All right, so let's see if I can exit this and stop sharing my screen.
All right, well, that's all, folks.
All right, let's see. Ba-bum-bum. So thank y'all so much for tuning in. Shout out to Breadman TV, Miss Cruiser, Coco Bean, Courtney Jones, Stacy Moe, my mama in here. So I'm glad I watched my mouth. Yes.
I don't have to watch my mouth because my mama not in here.
Yeah, okay. You gonna be around here one day. And my mama got amnesia anytime unless you mess up. She gonna remember. Remember when you was on that live with Aaron and you said,
Who gonna check me, boo?
"Oh, chat, girl, look, I'm in here. Don't get me in trouble." Cause you know, she like, I can't reach her. I'm gonna reach you because you guilty by association. Chad boo bye. But alrighty, ma'am. You got any rainbows and unicorn topics you want to cover before we get up off of here?
No.
All right. All right. Well, thank you everybody that tuned in. Thank you for those that are watching on the replay. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, of course, you can leave them in the comments. And you can find both my podcast, The Beacon of Truth, as well as Lovey's, Live, Laugh, and Lovey, on all social media platforms and YouTube. And on that note, guys, I hope you have a great weekend. Stay safe. Wear your mask
Wear the mask
properly.
properly.
Like, don't
Cover
have
your
your nose
nose.
hanging out. Yes. Do not be this one. Do not be this one. And also, if you are in your own car driving by yourself, you don't need your mask on. You don't need your mask on. You know, you can dangle it from one side in case, you know, if you just ride from one place to the other, whatever. Even if you have a cool mask, breathe. You know, it's your car. Because, you know, if you got Rona in your car, it's already on you, whether you put the mask on or not. So,
Mm-hmm. All
all
right.
all right, good people. Thank y'all so much again for tuning in. Y'all stay safe. Have a great week. This is the Beacon of Truth and Live, Laugh, and Lovey. See you next weekend.